my name is Vanessa Beeson, and today we're going to be talking about diabetes. In the 6th century, diabetes was tested for by seeing if ants were attracted to one's urine. And the reason for this is because of the excess sugar in a diabetic's blood and in the diabetic's urine. I am qualified to talk about this because I have read up on diabetes and I myself am a diabetic. Today, the three main points we're going to be talking about is in the history of diabetes is the history of its name, the history of its treatment, and the history of insulin. Okay. History of the names diabetes. Diabetes' full name is diabetes mellitus, and this is because diabetes means passing through or in something, and mellitus means to be honeyed or to be sugared, so sweet, passing through. Apollonius of Memphis came up with the name diabetes in 250 BC. Diabete was the first way it was used in English, and mellitus was added in 1675 by Thomas Willis. The history of the treatment. In ancient Greece, exercise was prescribed to help treat diabetes. Some other prescriptions were wine, starvation, and extra food and fluids because of the loss of fluids for one with diabetes. And diabetes was basically a death sentence before insulin really came around. The history of insulin. Joseph von Mering and Oscar discovered diabetes and the signs of it. And the way they did this was by taking the pancreas out of a dog and seeing that it was showing signs of diabetes, and it soon died afterwards. In 1910, Sir Edward Albert Sharpe Schaefer discovered that diabetes was due to the lack of insulin. In 1921, Sir Frederick Grant Banting and Charles Herbert Best continued Mering's and Oscar's work, and they put a healthy pancreas in a dog that was showing signs of diabetes. Banting and Best, along with Collip, produced a perfected version of the insulin hormone. And speaking of insulin, let's talk about insulin prices rising. According to way back when insulin was cheap, then it wasn't. Insulin prices were about $3 when it was first created. That was about $14 in today's money. In 1941, 3 companies were charged with overcharging for insulin, and the only repercussions they got was they were charged $5,000 each, and nothing else was done. In the early 1950s, the 3 companies merged, making it to where competition wasn't really a thing, and they didn't need to compete for customers. In 1974 to 1976, the average cost for monthly expenses for a diabetic was about $25, and that included insulin and syringes and everything else that a diabetic needed. Today, a single bottle of insulin costs up to $300. In conclusion, first we talked about the history of diabetes, its name, the history of insulin, and the history of treatment. Then we talked about insulin and its role in today's society and the prices. The history goes back way further than we think. It goes all the way back to ancient Greece and other ancient places. And the history of insulin, the name of it, and treatments were all very important. Thank you.